These are devotions for people at a social distance. This morning in my devotions, I turn to Matthew chapter 24. And this passage it really begins in a very shocking way, a shocking manner, but it doesn't often come across in the translations that we have. In Matthew 23, the chapter before this, Jesus has just spent the entire chapter just blasting the entire institution of everything to do with Jerusalem. So he has sharply criticized the temple, its structure, and really the city and the city of Jerusalem, and how it is run. And then it says this in Matthew chapter 24, as Jesus came out of the temple and was going away. Now, I think we often just read that as a simple, okay, he's done talking, he's leaving the temple. No, he is mad, he is angry, he is storming out of the temple institution. He's had it with the temple. And you can tell that because his disciples actually panic at this point. His disciples came to point out to him the buildings of the temple. So they're saying Jesus is upset about how everything runs, everything that happens in Jerusalem at the temple. The disciples say, but wait. Oh, pretty building. Oh, look at that beautiful structure. Look at that lovely organization. The disciples are afraid that Jesus has gotten so fed up with the institution of the temple that he's leaving, and they try and persuade him by saying, oh, but it's just such a beautiful building. And that is absolutely something that continually strikes me. And I know I've preached on it before, but I have to keep coming back to this point. We are living in an age when people, and this is kind of happening across denominations, across the board, people are leaving the church, and they're largely leaving it because they have been frustrated with the way that the church has run itself and the way that it has behaved and how it has treated certain people. And people are leaving, and that's been happening. That's been going on for a while now, and it seems to actually only be accelerating. And how do we respond? How do we respond when we see people upset and leaving the church? Well, what do we do? We do exactly what the disciples did. We come and say, but wait, beautiful institution, beautiful buildings. Look at those beautiful buildings. You can't believe that, can you? You may have picked up that I don't think this is the right approach, that this is not going to work. It didn't work with Jesus. What's Jesus' response? Truly, I tell you, not one stone will be left here upon another. All will be thrown down. In other words, the institution that you so love, that is so beautiful, that is not what will endure. And of course, Jesus' prediction on this point is absolutely correct. The temple in Jerusalem did not endure. But it's also true of the church today. If we think we're going to tempt people to stay in the church by saying, oh, but look at these lovely structures, this beautiful institution, we are missing the point. It's about how we treat one another. It's about how we treat the weakest and the most, the outsiders in society. It's about how we live up to what we are called to be as Christians. That's the only thing that's going to be attractive. Not these lovely buildings, not this lovely institution. Can't we learn? Gracious God, yes, people have been walking away from the church, and like Jesus in Jerusalem, with a certain bit of anger or frustration at what the church has been. Let us respond by actually hearing what they are saying, by actually changing who we are, and not by simply drawing people's attention to lovely buildings and institutions. Amen.